You guys are literally sitting on an upside down trash can on my desk. Anyway, what's up fellas? Today, we're gonna be doing a little different kind of video. I mean, I talk about relationships sometimes on my channel, but not often because it's rare that I'm in one. And today, we're just kind of gonna talk about why it's okay to be single. I'm 24 years old, and I've been single the majority of my life. I've been in not that many relationships, and I honestly, like, I don't know, relationships are a funny thing to me. Like, even though I haven't been in very many, I feel like, maybe I'm just tuning my own horn, but I feel like I give good advice on relationships because I have really high standards of what I expect from relationships, and all of the relationships I have been in, you know, we ended on good terms, and I'm probably not friends, but I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm like friends, like I don't hang out with my ex-boyfriends very much, but I'm on good terms with all of them. Like, we didn't end on bad notes, and I just feel like, I don't know, when my friends come to me for advice on relationships, I feel like I generally give good advice. I don't know, but again, not a relationship expert, but this is just what I have like learned from being single, why it's okay to be single, why I'm basically always single. I feel like I'm always the one in my friend group that is single. Like, everyone else will be in relationships and I'm the only one that's not dating someone. And don't get me wrong, like, there's definitely times where I go through like periods of time in my life where what is up with the lighting in my apartment? Let me see. Okay, I'm sitting by my window right here and the lighting just keeps going weird, so I apologize if that bothers you, but can't really fix this natural light. Anyway, so talking about being single, let's start off with like why I feel like I'm always single. Number one, I am just like so picky it hurts. I'm just so picky, and it's annoying. It's honestly annoying how picky I am because it really hinders my dating life. I don't know if I'm quick to judge, like I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about me that makes me very particular about who I feel attracted to or who I would even like to consider being romantically involved with. But I can't really change it, and people have told me that, like, you shouldn't be so picky or whatever, but I'm like, why wouldn't I be? You know, why would I want to change that and I guess lower my standards? I guess I just have really high standards, and that's not really something that you can change. I feel like I can't change like internally who I'm attracted to mentally and physically. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just have really high standards, I think. It's just annoying. Like I said, it's annoying, but it's also not annoying because I'm not willing to change it, because I also know my worth and I know what I want out of a relationship, and relationships aren't something I feel like you can just throw around because they are really time consuming, and that's not in a bad way. Like, if you genuinely like love being around someone and want to, you know, grow in your relationship with them, like that's awesome. You obviously want to spend the time doing that, but for me, I just feel like I don't like to waste my time, so maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's why I'm so picky, but I think it just takes me a while to like find someone that I'm willing to put that much time and effort into, that I feel like I want to pursue a relationship with, because like I said, they take up a lot of your time, and for me, they take up a lot of my mental energy too. Like, if I'm dating someone, like I just think about them all the time, and honestly it's really distracting from my work, which again, it's really fun. It's like a fun element of life. You have like a crush and you're just thinking about them all the time, and you like want to talk to them all the time, you want to hang out with them. There's been time periods in my life where I definitely have not done as much work as I should be doing because I'm either like talking to my boyfriend throughout the day, or I'm just like thinking about them and it's distracting me from the work I should be doing. Anyway, so that's one of the reasons why I feel like I'm a little bit more hesitant to get into a relationship. Not that, but okay. Before we even start all this, I wouldn't say I'm out there like looking for a relationship. Like, that's not what I do on a day-to-day basis. I don't need one in my life. Like, I'm very independent, and I'm not really that reliant on other people for my happiness, which is a good and a bad thing, I think. Like, I love being independent and everything, but there are time periods where I'm like, okay, it would be nice to like share this moment with someone else, you know? Anyway, so it's great to be independent, be self-sufficient, whatever, but it is a little bit more exciting, I will say, a little bit more exciting to be involved with someone, and then you just have someone to like share in your, you know, accomplishments, or someone to help like lift you up when you're having a bad day or whatever. You know, when you're single, it's just you, yourself, and you know? I mean, you have friends too, but it's just different than like a romantic partner. Anyway, what I was saying, at this moment, like, I never am like seeking a relationship, but I'm also open to one. Like if someone comes along and I am interested in them, I will pursue it. I am not afraid of shooting my shot. Like if I see that there's like potential with someone, I will actively go pursue it, because I'm like a big advocate of like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Because, you know, and it's happened to me before. Like I'll tell someone how I feel, and then you get rejected, and that's the worst thing that can happen, and then you move on, you know? But I don't like living with what ifs. I don't wanna just play that game. I don't wanna play the game. I'll just be straight to the point, whatever. I've also come to realize I'm not very good at flirting. So I think me just going out of my way to make it clear that I am interested in someone. Sorry, I just got an email. I'll just go out of my way to make it clear so that, you know, they're picking up what I'm putting down. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And you can move on, and you can stop thinking about what ifs and creating little scenarios in your head of what could happen when you just actively shoot your shot. And if you get rejected, whatever, you move on. If it works, then it works. Over the past couple years, being young 20s, I have learned so much about myself, and I can't imagine being in a relationship and changing that much. I mean, obviously people do it and you like grow with other people, but for me personally, like I look at myself at age 21, right? Graduated from college, and I am just such a different person than I am now at 24, almost 25. And it's crazy, like I talked to one of my friends who's been dating someone consistently since she was in high school, and our perspectives on life are just so different. Like she's like, yeah, when I think about the future, I just think about what me and my boyfriend will be doing, or like I think about an activity that I could do, and it's always my boyfriend's included in that. And it's just so crazy to think about, because when I think about something that I would like to do in the future, it's just usually me. Or like even just moving to New York City, I didn't really have to think about anyone else. Or just like moving cities, I didn't have to think about a significant other that I had. Like I just haven't gone through life with someone else for a long period of time. But honestly, I think that was good for me, because I really did learn a lot about myself over the past couple years. And through relationships, I think you just learn a lot about yourself, like the relationship process and then breaking up. I think you learn a lot about yourself, because most people go through relationships and break up at least one point in their life, you know? So what I've learned about breakups, I'm not an expert, but like I said earlier in the video, every person that I've had a relationship with, I feel like I'm on good terms with. And I've always had like a very mature breakup. Like I'm not a person that fights. I don't like fighting. I don't like being on bad terms with people. So yeah, a lot of my breakups or whatever have been extremely civil. All of them have been, actually. So what I've learned from breaking up with someone, in the process of breaking up, when you and your partner break up, the best thing that you can do is cut ties with them. There's a reason that you guys are breaking up. Also, I'm a firm believer that people can't be friends after breaking up. Sorry, if you're offended by that comment, sorry. But it's true, okay? If you're romantically involved with someone, you can't just be like, okay, we're broken up, now we're just gonna be friends. That's not how it works. You're still gonna have other emotional attachments to them. I know it's literally the hardest thing that you can do, to cut ties with someone completely and stop talking to them, stop seeing them, because they usually are like one of your best friends, if not your best friend. I understand that it's so hard. It's the hardest thing I think about a breakup, is just losing a really good friend that you have, that you can tell everything to. Like something happens to you at work per se, like then you can just go to, you know, this person to talk to them about it. Like it's really hard to lose that person that you had for a long time in your life. But it's by far the healthiest thing that you can do, because when you do this, I'm not saying that you never have to talk to them ever again, though that may be something that you choose to do. Like you don't have to cut ties with them forever, but I would say it depends on how long you're in the relationship for, but at least 6 months. At least 6 months, no contact, you're not seeing them at all, you're not talking to them at all. Because distance truly helps you heal. If you're stringing people along in this situation and you're like, the emotional ties will never be able to fade away, and then it turns into this whole thing. I don't know. So whenever I like give relationship advice to any of my friends who are dealing with something, what I've learned from the relationships I've had in the past is definitely cutting ties and avoiding talking to them and seeing them, because that not only has helped me get over people way quicker than people that like string each other along, but it also helps me, you know, deal with the emotions faster. Like the whole grieving process is a lot quicker than if you keep ties with them and you're just still talking to them, still trying to like maybe get back together, maybe do this, maybe do this. Like there's a reason that you're breaking up. So again, even if you feel like you'll get back together down the road, like just having a time where you're distance from each other is so important to me in my mind. So that's something I always usually recommend to any of my friends who are dealing with, you know, breaking up. even though it is the hardest thing for someone to do, and there's a reason why people continue to talk after breakups, because it is so hard and it's just so automatic to want to talk to them and, you know, go back to them, befriend them, like trick yourself into saying that you can just be friends with them, when in reality, I would say like everyone, like that's just not true. And the next thing for a breakup is really, this is so cliche, but working on yourself. Find something that, you know, maybe you lost in the relationship, and something that drives you to be a better version of yourself. I remember back in 2019 I had a breakup, and I signed up to run the Chicago Marathon, which it was something that took up a lot of my time and energy. Obviously, training for a marathon takes up a lot of your energy, mentally and physically. So just immersing myself in that really helped me deal with like the emotional side of things. It's not being as in my own thoughts. Like when you're focused on something else, you're distracting yourself from the grieving process, which again, like yes, you want to like deal with it, but then also it's like you don't need to think about your breakup all day long. So having something that you're focused on that is bettering you is so important. Also, the next thing is just spending time with family and friends. Like maybe you didn't spend as much time with your friends because you were in the relationship and you were prioritizing that part of your life. Like maybe you didn't prioritize those friendships and you felt that they kind of faded away. Like if they are your actual friends, they're gonna take you back under their wing, you know? They're gonna include you back in the friend group after a breakup. Because most people understand, like relationships take up a lot of time, and yes, you want to have the balance of hanging out with your friends and the relationship, but like, I don't know, all my friends that are in relationships, I'm not getting mad at them for wanting to hang out with their significant other, you know? So making sure you're spending time with your family and friends, doing things that you love together, having fun. Again, this is just like distracting you from the grief process, and building on your stable relationships that'll be there forever, like guaranteed, is so important. The next thing, it can be so compelling to download the dating apps right away, because you're missing that part of your life. Like you're missing that adrenaline rush, that dopamine that you're getting from hanging out with your significant other. It's just something that you don't get from your friends. You're like, I'm gonna download the dating apps, I'm gonna get back on the scene, you know, there was things that were wrong in my relationships, I'm gonna go find someone else that's better. Don't do that. Don't download the dating apps. It's gonna make you more upset. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's gonna make you more upset. It also affects both parties, because you're getting on these dating apps and maybe you actively want to pursue someone else and you like meet someone you actually like there's no way, if you're downloading the dating apps right after you stopped dating someone else, especially if you dated for a long period of time, that you're emotionally ready to handle another relationship. Like you are definitely still carrying baggage from that relationship if it's happening immediately, you know? Don't, like the next day, you can't hop on the dating apps. Maybe casual date, whatever. People handle breakups differently, so I'm not one to judge someone else. I'm just saying, like, don't try to get into another long-term relationship right away, because you're just not emotionally done with the one before. You need to have that grieving process and like work on yourself. Anyway, this video was so random, I know, but I feel like I've just had a lot of friends that are like dealing with relationship problems or something, I don't know. And I just thought maybe some of you guys would like to hear my opinions on being single, relationships, breaking up, how I view everything, and I don't know, maybe you guys got something out of this. I don't know. There's so many relationship videos on the internet. Who am I to add my expertise to it? But it's just fun to hear other people's like thoughts on relationships. Again, I'm not an expert at all. I can't tell you how to deal with your relationships, but it's always fun to hear other people's opinions on everything, so take it as you want to. Let me know if there's any other random topics that you guys want to see a video from. That would be kind of fun, just to talk about random things. Other than just like vlogging, I think it's fun to just talk about random topics. So thank you guys so much for watching, and follow me on Instagram if you want to be up to date on my life. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, fellas.